time has come for you to succeed, for you to stand tall.
They aren't maddening to me. They don't frustrate me. They inspire me. Inspire me to drive and push more and to push harder.
It would be just as easy to look into the world and see only the negative things. But once you understand that you can choose to have faith that things are going to work.
For you to understand that you got a mission. And your mission is not done yet. Every day it's not going to be a good day. But every day is a blessed day. Because you are above the ground. You are walking tall. There is no time for sorrow. Because misery has no place in your life. The mind is a powerful weapon. Because no matter what's happening, your mind does matter.
So I say, dig in and get to pushing.
Those of you who are listening to this, whoever hear this, you will not find toughness in a comfortable environment. You will not find it. I was trying to look for it everywhere. The only way you find it is to drown yourself in a position where you're just out of sorts, where you can't swim and you're drowning. You're drowning. You're drowning in life. When you say, you know what, man? And then you start to engage parts of your mind that you never engaged before. But you can't engage it by sitting back in these nice chairs.
And if you put the wrong things inside of your mind, the best things won't come out. The best of you won't show up. Do you feel that all you know is sorrow? Why do you allow misery to handcuff you, to chain you down? Resurrect yourself from the pit of darkness, because misery doesn't have the right to control your life. When the rest of the world says no to you, you say yes to yourself. You say yes, I believe. You say yes, I can do it. You say yes, nothing can stop me. There's no time to give up.
Drinking this nice water, talking to you, talking about what I want to do. When you're in suffer mode and you say, I'm not going to quit, you're forcing your brain now to operate on a level it's not used to. But then it becomes used to it. There's 24 hours in a day where you're alone in this brain, and your brain is talking to you in all kinds of ways, and it wants to control you, pull you in these different pockets. If you can't control your own brain, and your brain controls you, you got to tell your brain where you want to go and how you want to go and how you want to get there. You got to control it. If not, it's over. So all I knew back then was hard work. The only way anything gets accomplished. That's all I heard back in those days. You got to work hard. You got to work hard. I'm not getting I can't get this paragraph. I can't remember what the in this paragraph to pass this test to get in the military.
I decided what I was willing to do, but I also decided what I wasn't willing to do. And what I wasn't willing to do to solve this problem was to ruin that relationship with this person, was to hurt their self-confidence, was to give them more pain and anxiety and worry in their own life, because I knew part of that was the reason they were struggling that created the problem in the first place. Their own pain, their own anxiety, their own worry, their own fears helped create this problem I was solving. And I was unwilling to contribute more to that to solve it. And then lastly, how can I enjoy the process? Wouldn't it be nice to enjoy the process of overcoming challenges and problems rather than always being a grind, always being something we hate, always being painful? And again, this isn't fluff. Sometimes challenges and problems are just painful things we're going to get through. But these questions can empower you to make it less this way. And so ask yourself that question, what can I do to enjoy this? Because the more you can find enjoyment in the process of something that's going to always be in your life, just think about this.
That you can believe in something long before you have the evidence for it. And you can believe in it because you know that's how the mind works. That's where humans generate their power. They don't generate it from seeing some evidence of something in the world. We generate our power by first believing that our efforts will be rewarded. You have to put that at the center of your being. And as Wayne Dyer said, be miserable or motivate yourself. Whatever has to be done is always your choice. So if you want to do something, recognize there's no obstacle holding you back other than what you choose to believe. And if you want to be miserable, it's going to be there for you. And if you want to be empowered, it's there for you. If you want strength, it is there for you. It's a decision. It's something that you decide to believe in, that you can get strong.
We have this sort of fantasy that if I can get rich enough, or I can get in the perfect relationship, or I have the best business, or maybe if I just don't do anything and I retire someday, I won't have problems and challenges in my life. Now, we consciously know that's not true, but it's sort of the fantasy we live with. And now that I point that out, you go, that is crazy. Of course I'm always going to have these things. So since you have an acceptance that problems and challenges are going to exist, isn't it probably important that you learn to enjoy the process of overcoming them and solving them? I think all the time, how can I enjoy this? I think, man, what are all the great things that are going to happen when this is solved? Whose lives are going to be better when this is solved? How much better is my body, my fitness, my faith, my family, my life, other people's lives when this problem is solved, depending on what the problem and challenge is? And that helps me enjoy the process. I also remind myself this problem is helping me grow. It's an existence because I'm making progress in my life. So all these things fit a meaning that help us make the best decisions possible.
And that ultimately is the ultimate strength, to believe that you can get better, to believe that you can become whatever you want to become. So choose optimism right now. Choose to let it fill you. Choose to feel it, to sit in that sensation that anything you set your mind to is possible. You allow yourself to embody that, to believe it, no matter what anybody tells you, no matter how many people tell you that you're stupid, you're a failure, that you're never going to do anything, that you are going to believe in yourself. If you can do that, if you can choose that optimism, you can go anywhere, because you realize everything you needed was in you all along. It was simply choosing to believe you could execute against it. So have that faith. Go out and do it. As Matsuo Basho said, do not seek to follow in the footsteps of others. Instead, seek what they sought. This is about knowing not what others have done.
And then finally, I want to give you 4 things that I think are mandatory in solving problems. Number 1, all problems must be solved on paper. And I'll substitute paper for a keyboard. But I think they need to be written out problems. There's a process that happens and a clarity of thought when we move the problem just out of our mind where all the emotions are and onto a piece of paper where we get resourceful and we get specific. And so all problems in the 15% category need to be solved on paper. When you write them down, you begin to see them. Also, by putting the problem outside of your mind and on a piece of paper, you remove yourself from the emotion of the problem and you become outside the problem, and your perspective changes simply by writing it. It gives you a different level of awareness to solve the problem from. It removes you from it and the emotion oftentimes, and it gives you a worldview, a perspective of above it that's different than when you're in it in your head. This is a huge thing I do on almost every problem I have that's in the 15% category, is putting it on paper.